Cancer is a continuously growing global health problem that poses major challenges, most especially in developing countries. Find out how this international distributor of innovative health products came up with a series of solutions to help increase a patient's chance to survive the odds. In 2020, the Philippines hit a record of 354,398 prevalent cancer cases within a 5-year period. But because of poor access to health care, especially for people living below the poverty line, the advances and breakthroughs in cancer remain unattainable to many.
Cancer refers to a group of diseases that's characterized actually by cell growth, abnormal cell growth and proliferation, inflammation, as well as angiogenesis or formation of new blood vessels. It always starts with mutation in the genome or the genetic makeup of a person inside the cell. Before PPARs, most of my patients, they were unable to finish the chemotherapy regimens because of the side effects and because of discomfort during the process of chemotherapy.
Maria's son Dominic was diagnosed with stage 4 rhabdomyosarcoma when he was only 4 years old. While coping with the recovery of her other sick child, Maria found it hard to accept Dominic's condition.
It was actually very devastating kasi with Dominic, it was manifested mga 4 years old na siya eh. Unlike dun sa daughter ko na congenital talaga, baby pa lang. Yung mga bandang September, meron ng umuumbok-umbok dito sa leeg niya. Hindi ko talagang inisip na cancer kaagad siya until nag-nosebleed siya.
Dominic was prescribed chemotherapy, but his family insisted to rush to an integrative doctor to seek for alternative cure.
Medyo hesitant ako kasi as a mother, I know the side effects ng chemotherapy kasi. So what I did is that I rushed towards the integrative doctor of my daughter, who happened to be PPAR partner doctor of Simply Nature.
One of the hardest decisions to make for people living with cancer is choosing the kind of treatment that would work best. To help patients and their families deal with this growing health problem, one company commits to producing safe, credible, and natural health solutions by drawing on the latest bioscience technology to deliver a series of safe, efficient, and natural products. What is Simply Nature and what does it do?
Simply Nature is a company we created and founded about 10 years ago. Our mission is to find effective health solutions for people. So we provide natural products that work in combination with conventional therapy and medicine.
As an international company that provides natural solutions for cancer, metabolic syndrome, and degenerative diseases, the management upholds a health philosophy that centers on whole food nutrition as the frontier in health management.
When we talk about choosing treatment, especially in the area of cancer, patients are really afraid of chemotherapy because of its side effects, and they tend to then look towards natural products. But this is not either conventional or natural choice. At Simply Nature, patients can have the best of both worlds. Our protocols work with conventional chemotherapy to minimize its side effects so that they can get the best treatment using both conventional and natural together.
Cancer is like a virus. It continuously evolves, it mutates, so it can develop defenses against our usual treatment modalities like chemotherapy.
Like I said, chemotherapy and radiation therapy have a lot of side effects. So more often than not, patients stop their treatment because of these side effects. It's very important to have the support.
With the supplements that we give the patients, there will be lesser side effects, so they will be able to finish their chemotherapy protocols more comfortably.
This company introduced PPARs, which is touted as one of the best natural ways of solving serious health problems.
PPARs stands for peroxisome proliferator activating receptors. It's basically a nuclear receptor found inside the cells. Now, when these receptors are activated, the benefit that you can get from that is, number one, cellular differentiation. Number two, it's to promote fatty acid metabolism. If you have better insulin function, your blood sugar will naturally go down. And another one is to induce cancer cell death by modulating the immune system.
As a sole distributor of PPARs, the company promotes its use to many reputable health institutions worldwide and actively organizes corporate health conferences and public health talks in Asia.
Simply Nature PPARs is made out of a special strain of these types of microalgae. It is very effective by protecting the bone marrow. We maintain the integrity of the immune system of the patient, which is very important to prevent infections and to fight off the cancer itself. And also, Simply Nature PPARs is also very dense in nutrients so that the patient can recover faster because of better cellular healing.
Sabi ko parang na-lead kami to an extraordinary and I must say amazing journey. I'm very proud of him. At a young age, na 8 years old, he believed that it's his purpose to siguro encourage other people then. We would like to really pay it forward with the knowledge that there's really like Simply Nature that can help people with cancer very much.
When fighting cancer, living healthy is very important because it allows us to pursue what is important to us in life, and that's what it's all about. When we can help a patient move from being bedridden to getting up, to be lucid in thought so that they can have conversations with their loved ones, it gives the whole process of fighting cancer a whole new meaning. And that is what drives us at Simply Nature.
CA markers.
Mataas siya. Then, nung after 3 months, nung pag-take ko ng Simply Nature, doon, naging normal na siya until now. Kahit si Dr. Johan na gulat siya kasi biglang normal agad in just 3 months, nag-normal agad yung CEA ko. 1 year and 5 months, cancer-free. Dapat may food supplements kayo, like Simply Nature, na proven and tested ko na. Talagang hindi ako pwedeng mawala ng Simply Nature na yun.
2019, I was being diagnosed a cancer of my uterus. So I was shocked. Sabi ko, bakit nagkaroon ako ng ganito? Samantalang hindi ako mahilig sa pagkain. I'm sorry, basura. Started the tablet and then the powder. Tinry ko din yung yung tawag dito.
Gel?
Yeah, yung gel. Yes. It's really good. After 2 months ng aking therapy and taking PPARs, sabi ni doktora, magpa-laboratory ka na. So, nung nagpa-laboratory na ako, praise God, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, lahat normal. To God be the glory. Salamat sa Diyos. Sa 2 months ko po ng aking pag-take ng PPARs, ako po ay cancer-free.
CA markers. Mataas siya. Then, nung after 3 months, nung pagtitake ko ng Simply Nature, doon, naging normal na siya until now. Kahit si Dr. Johan na gulat siya kasi biglang normal agad in just 3 months, nag-normal agad yung CEA ko. 1 year and 5 months, cancer-free. Dapat may food supplements kayo, like Simply Nature, na proven and tested ko na. Talagang hindi ako pwedeng mawala ng Simply Nature na yun.
2019, I was being diagnosed a cancer of my uterus. So I was shocked. Sabi ko, bakit nagkaroon ako ng ganito? Samantalang hindi ako mahilig sa pagkain. I'm sorry, basura. Started the tablet and then the powder. Tinry ko din yung yung tawag dito.
Gel?
Yeah, yung gel. Yes. It's really good. After 2 months ng aking therapy and taking PPARs, sabi ni doktora, pagpa-laboratory ka na. So, nung nagpa-laboratory na ako, praise God, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, lahat normal. To God be the glory, salamat sa Diyos. Sa 2 months ko po ng aking pag-take ng PPARs, ako po ay cancer-free.
CA markers. Mataas siya. Then, nung after 3 months, nung pagtitake ko ng Simply Nature, doon, naging normal na siya until now. Kahit si Dr. Johan na gulat siya kasi biglang normal agad in just 3 months, nag-normal agad yung CEA ko. 1 year and 5 months, cancer-free. Dapat may food supplements kayo, like Simply Nature, na proven and tested ko na. Talagang hindi ako pwedeng mawala ng Simply Nature na yun.
2019, I was being diagnosed a cancer of my uterus. So I was shocked. Sabi ko, bakit nagkaroon ako ng ganito? Samantalang hindi ako mahilig sa pagkain. I'm sorry, basura. Started the tablet and then the powder. Tinry ko din yung yung tawag dito.
Gel?
Yeah, yung gel. Yes. It's really good. After 2 months ng aking therapy and taking PPARs, sabi ni doktora, pagpa-laboratory ka na. So, nung nagpa-laboratory na ako, praise God, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, lahat normal. To God be the glory, salamat sa Diyos. Sa 2 months ko po ng aking pag-take ng PPARs, ako po ay cancer-free.
It's quite frustrating for a lot of cancer patients because you have spent so much money.
And you're starting to celebrate already. You are getting encouraged.
Yes, and then this happens to you. Sometimes you get smacked by life. Why did this happen? Everything I did was my onco told me everything I followed to the letter.
And it seemed to be working.
Yes. There's a solution to that. We'll go into that later.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Simply Healed. And Dr. Jansen, welcome again.
Hello, Shan. Hello, everyone. Glad to be here again.
Yeah, today we have a new venue for today's health talk. Upgrades in preparation for 2023. Doc, today's topic is really interesting, and I think all our audience today will be so glad that they didn't miss today's episode, because today's episode is about why your breast cancer treatment might not be working. You know, Doc, thank you for all your past health talks where you really taught all our viewers, especially our regular viewers, about the different aspects of cancer. But today we're going to handle a very specific one, and this might be something that is so important to a particular listener if it applies to you. Doc, sometimes proven protocols mysteriously doesn't work for some patients.
Yes.
And it's very frustrating as a patient because, for example, you have breast cancer, your uncle tells you success rate is 60, 70, 80%. This is a proven therapy, it works for so many people. But when you use it, it doesn't seem to work. And it's like a mystery. Well, tonight, we're going to take a look at what that answer might be, and it might apply to your case. And if that is the key thing, then tonight is your miracle, right? You found a way to make that protocol that's supposed to really work for you. So, Doc, tell us this very exciting angle, this potentially life-changing revelation.
Yes, you're right. Sometimes there are a lot of reasons why the conventional treatments that we undergo, even natural treatments, sometimes they don't work.
Yeah, but it worked like for other people at the clinic, right?
Why didn't it work for me? I mean, we're practically the same, right? The profiles are the same. So there are a lot of reasons behind that. So immune system evasion, gene mutations. But there's one specific pathway that once it mutates, then it's really very difficult to treat.
Okay.
So this pathway is the JAK-STAT pathway. Okay?
Is this something relatively new?
Actually, it's not.
This discovery,
it's not.
Okay.
But the drugs that have been developed to target this specific pathway are new.
Oh.
Quite new.
Okay.
Yes. So later we're going to tell you which drugs are there.
That's exciting.
Okay. Some of them might be familiar, some might not be. Okay. So later we're going to that.
So, Doc, it's even possible that some oncos in Philippines or wherever our viewers are may not know of these new drugs. Is it possible?
It's possible, but they should know this.
Okay, they should.
They should know this. Yes.
So let's explore.
Okay. So remember what I just mentioned, the JAK-STAT pathway. So that is JAK/STAT. So what is this? So cells have a way to communicate.
All right.
They talk to one another.
Okay.
Now, when we communicate, right? I am talking, you are listening.
Yeah.
So how do you listen? You have your ears to listen. Okay? So this JAK-STAT pathway are your ears. This is the ears of the cells.
Okay.
Okay?
That's interesting.
So if one cell is trying to communicate with another, it communicates via this specific pathway. Okay? So JAK means Janus kinase.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Janus kinase is just the name of the scientist who discovered this.
Okay.
So that's why it's Janus. Okay, so it's Dr. Janus. Okay, and the other one is STAT. So STAT means signal transducer and activator of transcription. So this is specific big words. Okay.
Yeah.
Main function of this that you have to know is that it stimulates gene activation. Okay, it activates the genes to manufacture proteins. Okay, so imagine this, no? Imagine this to be like a restaurant, okay, inside the cell.
Okay.
So take a look at this image. Okay, so take a look at the JAK. Okay, imagine this JAK to be counters, no? Counters in the restaurants where
like the cashier,
go,
where the
cashier,
you order.
Yes, it's like when you go to Jollibee, when you go to McDonald's, it's the lady in front of you where you order.
All right.
Okay, and the ligand, okay, is you. You are the ligand. You are the customer.
Okay.
Okay. Of course, if you order from the cashier,
they will produce
the food for you.
Behind.
Okay.
Yes.
So how does this work? Okay. So in a typical restaurant, when you order, the cashier receives your order, and then the cashier passes it on to the kitchen.
Yes.
So that the kitchen will make your order, will make your food to give it to you.
Yes.
Okay? So, alright. So imagine this restaurant to be inside the cells. Okay? So, you as the customer, as the ligand, when that interacts with the JAK receptor or the cashier, okay, the cashier will pass your order to the kitchen. Okay? So, it's JAK telling the DNA, telling the genes,
telling the kitchen what to produce.
Yes. So what are the food that gets produced when this gets activated? When the JAK-STAT pathway
What's
gets
on
activated?
the menu? What is available?
Okay, so these are the things that's on the menu. Quite a lot of things. Cellular proliferation, meaning cells divide.
Okay.
They multiply. So 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8. Okay? Cellular differentiation or maturation. Okay, so imagine your young red blood cells being babies inside the bone marrow. Then they
become
mature,
adults.
they become adults so that they can carry oxygen and function properly for you. Okay, so that's another one. Another one is cellular migration or movement. Cells migrate, especially during baby when you're an embryo. Okay, so you're this small, small embryo, right? Of course, how do you become a full fetus?
Yes.
Okay. Cells migrate.
They
Cells
move around.
mature. They move around.
Does this have an impact on cancer spreading?
Yes. Especially metastasis and tumor invasion.
Okay.
Okay. Cellular death is also known as apoptosis or programmed cell death. This is how, when cells get old, or this is how they die. Okay.
So this naturally, and the
Yes.
issue about cancer cells is that cancer cells often don't die.
They don't
And
die.
then the healthy cells die,
Yes.
the cancer cells don't die.
So they just multiply and multiply and multiply. So when JAK-STAT pathway gets activated, cellular death gets reduced. Okay?
Oh, okay.
So next is cell survival. Cell survival is longer with this. So it is like cancer becomes stronger.
all right.
Okay?
Wow.
So next is the creation of blood cells. So you know this already. Immune cell development, stem cell maintenance. Okay? So human growth and development, as just what I have mentioned a while ago, and breast gland development. So these are the things that gets activated, that gets turned on when JAK-STAT is activated or when you order in that counter.
But what happens in your illustration to a cancer patient? What happens when their JAK-STAT is overactive, when it
Yes.
produces too much?
This is what happens. So remember what I have mentioned a while ago? So the function of the JAK-STAT, you just enhance that. Okay, so increased cell proliferation. So your cells are multiplying excessively. Okay, so instead of 1 becoming 2, 1 becomes 4.
That makes the cancer cell grow faster.
Yes, that's why we develop tumors. Okay?
Wow.
Next is decreased cell death. Cells just live longer.
That is good for the good cells, but that's bad news for
cancer
the
cells. Okay, so decreased immune function.
We don't want that.
We don't want that. It's because why do we have decreased immune function? It's because the white blood cells are not matured properly. They don't mature properly. So if they don't mature properly, they don't function properly. So next is immune system evasion. It dodges the immune system. It evades detection by the immune system.
Wow, those
There's
are
also
very
one
serious
Okay.
impacts on cancer.
Yes. So next is tumor recurrence. That's why some of you who have undergone immune chemotherapy, radiation therapy, hormone therapy, surgery, one way or another, somewhere down the line, you develop recurrence. So these are one of the reasons. Okay? Tumor invasion, all of you already know this. Increased tumor blood supply formation.
Oh, that's bad. Because if you increase the tumor blood supply formation, the tumor grows faster.
Because they have their own supply of nutrients already.
Wow.
And the tumor deprives you of nutrients that the healthy cells
They
in your body
steal
should have
from
been.
the healthy cells.
Yes, it's like parasite. It's like a parasite.
And I see the next one is cell migration, and that's the most scary thing in cancer. Metastasis. For our audience, it's important to take note that if your cancer does not spread, in many cases, you can live a very, very long time with the cancer in your body.
Yes.
In fact, most of the cancer deaths are a result of cancer spreading. If you could isolate your cancer, if it just only stays at one point, you can basically live with it, which is why prostate cancer in the early stages, doctors just sit back and
Observe.
just observe
Just observe.
because it's not moving anywhere. It's just one location. So stopping your cancer from spreading makes cancer less lethal. And that's something that you should aim to do if you're a cancer patient. So this is very important that we stop this.
Yes, correct. And one of the bad things as well is that the tumor itself can develop drug resistance. This is something
wow.
that Dr. Jimmy
Uh-huh.
has been saying again and again.
Okay.
Some tumors develop resistance to chemotherapy.
Yes.
This is one of the reasons
Oh, because of the JAK-STAT.
because of the JAK-STAT. But for this, for the JAK-STAT, there are quite a lot, so we don't have time to enumerate
Yes.
all. I'll just give you one very common example that a lot of breast cancer patients are very familiar with. Aromatase inhibitors, or letrozole, also known as anastrozole, and exemestane. Okay, for our breast cancer patients who are hormone receptor positive, this is one of the mainstay treatments that you will be undergoing. If JAK-STAT is overactivated, you develop resistance to these drugs.
That's not good.
That's not good.
Mm.
Okay, sometimes aromatase inhibitors are given for 5 years.
Okay.
Sometimes because of the sheer duration of the drug, the sheer duration of the number of days of the drug
You
that's
give
been
the
given.
chance for the
You give the chance
for the
for the
cancer
drug
to mutate and
mutate.
develop a defense
Yes.
against it.
and sometimes at the back of your mind, hey, it's being given for 5 years, so at the back of your mind, probably I have to be on it for a significant period of time for it to work. But sometimes along the way, we don't know that it's not working anymore.
Because the cancer has already mutated.
Yes, because of this JAK-STAT pathway.
You know,
Okay.
this thing about cancer mutating is something very important for persons undergoing drug therapy, because drugs do not mutate with the cancer.
Yes.
So the moment the cancer mutates and changes, that very, very effective drug that was working so well, shrank your tumor 75% of the size, suddenly doesn't work anymore. And then that tumor starts growing rapidly because it's a stronger version of that original cancer. So for many cancer patients, I think this is one of the most traumatic experience and very confusing, because the drug was working. My tumor was the size of like this. Now it's only so small. How come now it's growing big again? What happened?
Yes, and it's quite frustrating for a lot of cancer patients because you have spent so much money.
And you're starting to celebrate already. You are getting encouraged.
Yes, and then this happens to you. Sometimes you get smacked by life. Why did this happen? Everything I did was my onco told me everything I followed to the letter.
And it seemed to be working.
Yes. There's a solution to that. We'll go into that later.
And at this point, I just want to also update anybody that just joined us. Right. So this is really good news because the frustration of a therapy that was working that suddenly stopped working, or that's working for other people but not for you. What we are discussing tonight might be one of the reasons, and if it is, then tonight you have found a solution, and those therapies will begin to work for you again. And that's good news, because those are proven protocols that are effective for breast cancer. So Doc, please continue. Let us know how.
So now, what are the reasons why the JAK-STAT gets overactivated? Number one reason, inflammation. So I have shown you these two types of molecules, IL-6 and IL-22. So what are
What is
they?
this?
Okay, what is this? Remember COVID? Okay, remember the drug remdesivir?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Remdesivir is an IL-6 inhibitor.
Okay.
Okay? In COVID, IL-6 is one of the inflammatory factors that can kill a person. Okay? And this is exactly one of the reasons why JAK-STAT gets overactivated.
Because of the
presence of IL-6, because of inflammatory factors. Now, IL-6 and IL-22 are both pro-inflammatory, and these can get elevated for
many reasons.
For many reasons. And number one is lifestyle, the food that you eat. I've been reiterating this again and again and again. So please watch those videos. Okay.
Okay.
Now,
Next is inhibition of negative regulator. So what does this mean?
Okay.
So for every restaurant, you
Yeah.
have your security guard.
Okay, that's easy to
Okay?
understand.
Easy to understand. What does the security guard do?
Chase away the wrong people.
Chase away the wrong people. Also, they filter who comes in
Yeah,
the establishment.
yeah.
Okay?
So they don't let gangsters
Yes.
come into the restaurant.
So this one, no, inhibition of negative regulators means that your security guard got sick and went for a sick leave. Okay? So if you don't have a security guard in your establishment, all people will come into your establishment.
Doc,
Okay.
how does this happen to a person? Why would our security guards take leave?
Again, for a number of reasons. Usually it's because of mutations. And
Mutations are part of life.
yes, however, in cells, mutations can correct themselves.
Wow.
However, there is also a mutation of a mutation, so
Okay.
that the corrector or the
person
the-
that is supposed to come
Yes.
and
Or
wake the guard
yes,
up, to
wake the
prevent him
guard
from
up,
sleeping,
or
actually doesn't do his
doesn't
job.
do his job, or the auditor doesn't do his or her job, okay, or does erroneous corrections, okay. So that is what happens.
So Doc, you know, when you talk about this, and now we sorry Doc to just sidetrack a little bit, because since we are talking about cancer, I think it's really important for everyone to take note that it's not just about hitting the cancer tumor, it's about keeping your immune system. It's not just that simple term, strengthen immune system. The immune system is not just one thing, it's many, many things. So that's why if many cancer patients just rely on drugs alone or protocols, but make no change to their lifestyle, you're only handling one aspect of maybe 50, 60, 100 different
Exactly.
angles, right?
Exactly.
You're only concentrating on one angle, the drug, and you're missing out on everything else. So take a look at our other videos where Dr. Jansen talks about getting sunlight, walking, you don't have to do vigorous exercise, walking, dietary awareness, knowing what to eat and what not to eat. All these will cover the hundreds of other angles that are part of your immune system. So look, as we go into the science, deep into the science, just one factor, IL-6, can create that problem that stops
Yes.
your effective drug from working in curing you of your cancer. So attacking cancer and fighting cancer is a integrative, and you have to integrate many
You have to
angles
yes.
and very comprehensive, holistic
Yes,
approach.
the approach should be holistic.
Yes.
Yes, so you should not be focusing on just one treatment alone. You should consider all the other treatments. Actually, as much as possible, combine them.
And
Okay?
sometimes it gets a little complicated, especially if people want to sell you stuff. So that's why we do a health talk like this, where you can ask questions so that you can develop a deeper understanding, so that you can choose better. So don't forget, in a few minutes' time when we wrap up over here, there'll be an AMA, Ask Me Anything segment, where you can ask any questions to Dr. Jansen and myself. So Doc, yes,
Okay.
what are the solutions to this problem?
Okay, now let's go to the solutions. Okay, so we have a lot of JAK inhibitors already, drugs, no, that inhibits this interaction between the cashier and the customer. Cashier and customer. Okay, so examples would be ruxolitinib, tofacitinib, fedratinib, peficitinib. Okay, so these drugs, I only chose one. Okay, the more common one here in the Philippines is ruxolitinib. And the problem with JAK inhibitors is that it's not readily available in the market, and it's
Oh.
quite expensive.
Okay.
This is the price, no? I got this from the DOH website.
Okay.
This is the price when this drug, the price of this drug in 2020.
Okay.
So take a look at the prices. It's crazy expensive. One day, the lowest dose, one day you'll spend 4,000 pesos already.
Every day 4,000.
Yes. Yeah, and for breast cancer, to use this drug, you need 25 milligrams.
Okay.
So that would be at least 10,000 pesos per day.
Wow. No wonder maybe this is the reason why it doesn't occur to
Yes.
the oncos, because
It's
it's,
really
it's a tool that they seldom use, because it's a tool that is not in the reach of many
yes,
people.
and it's quite expensive. And you know how long you should be on this? You should be on this until we see clinically significant improvement or your platelet count decreases. then we adjust the dose.
Okay.
That is the time. But as long as it is working, you should be on this.
Is there another solution than this?
Yes,
than this?
there is a cheaper one.
Okay.
So we have PPAR gamma agonists. PPAR gamma agonists are inhibitors of JAK.
Okay.
Okay, and they will be way cheaper. One example would be Simply Nature PPAR liquid.
And this is where my expertise comes in because I'm familiar with PPAR gamma and Simply Nature extracts and even our tablets are rich in PPAR gamma agonists. So yes, and I saw Doc that you said in the previous slide that I can see, the audience may not be able to see, that these drugs work well with chemotherapy, for example, cisplatin. And I was thinking to myself, our Simply Nature liquid extracts actually remove or manage like a majority, maybe 60 to 80% of the side effects of chemotherapy drugs like cisplatin. So if you are a chemo patient, you should be already taking our product. Now the product also inhibits JAK-STAT.
Yes.
So that means that you kill two birds with one stone. So those of you who are already on Simply Nature PPAR protocol, look forward to your breast cancer treatment by your onco to be even more effective, or at least you can rest assured this problem of the JAK-STAT would unlikely happen to you because you're already taking something that modulates your JAK-STAT hyperactivity.
Yes. Actually, this is also one of the proofs that Simply Nature PPAR liquid really works in synergy with a lot of the conventional drug protocols used for cancer. Okay, so yes, if you are a cancer patient, you should really consider using Simply Nature PPAR agonist together with your chemotherapy, together with your hormone therapy, together with your immunotherapy or targeted therapy. Okay?
And with that, we hope we've achieved today give you a potential solution if you are one of those patients who can't understand why your therapy is not working for you or the results have decreased. So this JAK-STAT might be that key to your issue. And once again, from Simply Nature aspect, we always want to make sure that our audience, our patients, understand why and how the product is working for them. And over the last 2 years, we've always been adding to this body of knowledge so that you can feel confident that you are receiving treatment that makes sense, that is well researched, that is understood, both by your attending physicians like Dr. Jansen, from the support of chemo and cancer treatment to your oncologist. Because all these research is readily available. And if you want us to speak to your onco so that they can understand what you're going through with Dr. Jansen, just let Dr. Jansen know during the consult. All right. So without further ado, Doc, can we go? I can see many questions coming out. So let's go.
Yes. Let's go to the Ask Me Anything portion already. So yeah, I can see a lot of questions already coming up.
My name is Sheila, and we are now in the Q&A part or Ask Me Anything portion of our webinar. We are now in the Q&A part or Ask Me Anything portion.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
All right. We are once again. Good evening, everybody. And first of all, we would like to say thank you for joining us tonight in another episode of Simply Health Webinar, brought to you by Simply Nature. Tonight's episode is entitled Breast Cancer, Why Chemo Didn't Work. Alright, it is a very exciting, interesting topic, and as you can see, it's a special one. Even the venue is a special one for you guys. I know that you have learned a lot from our two gentlemen, so without further ado, right, I'd like to call on our two gentlemen who will be answering your questions for tonight. But first off, with our CEO of Simply Nature, Mr. Sean Lim, and of course, our lifestyle medicine doctor, Dr. Jansen and Calalan. Good evening, sir, and good evening, Dr. Jansen.
Hi, Sheila.
Hello, Sheila. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Happy to be here.
Hi everyone, I'm just so glad to see with such a big audience tonight. I guess the topic really is a hot button. and something that everybody's asking. Doc, I'm looking at the questions that are coming up right now. Well, these are excellent questions. Very specific questions. Obviously, these questions are coming from patients who are currently undergoing chemotherapy and going through their treatment. So to everyone, I once again want to thank you, everyone, and I want to thank Dr. Jansen for doing this. We are so encouraged. Last night, I was just actually in my condo, 2 nights ago. I met my neighbor, and suddenly her head is totally shaved. All right, but she looks good and she was strong. I had a conversation with her, and what was so encouraging is that she had so many questions. She had so many, I realized as I asked her, there were many things that the onco did not tell her, and there are many things that some advisors from her onco, which she herself felt that, something's missing, because she did ask her onco, what can I eat during chemotherapy? And her onco said, you can eat anything you want as long as you just go for your chemotherapy. And she instinctively knew that was not true. And so she actually had a consult with Dr. Jansen today, and she got, and when she saw Doc, right, she said,
Yes.
what? Oh no, I can't eat this.
I can't eat this. Yes.
But she actually knew before. So, it really means that what we are doing here on every Thursday evening is so helpful to so many cancer patients and their loved ones and families, because there's so much that patients need to know about, right? So this part is live questions. Ask anything you want. But Sheila, maybe you can let us know tonight who are our audience. I'm kind of curious. Do we have people from overseas? Because I've been talking to some patients from the US and so on and so forth. Yeah.
Definitely, we have registrants coming from the US, Canada.
Oh, we have from
and
US,
of course,
Canada. All right.
Yes, and we also have some registrants also coming from the Asia Pacific as well. Right. Sir, I'd like to take this opportunity, apart from in observance with breast cancer awareness, this month is also a celebration to all our teachers out there. And we have some registrars who are also teachers.
Oh, wow. Wonderful.
Yes.
Let's
So
recognize
happy
all the
Teachers
teachers
Month.
and recognize
Yes.
Dr. Jansen for being our teacher when it comes to cancer. Right, yeah.
All right, you're right. We actually have wonderful questions that came in tonight, and please don't hesitate to ask your questions. These questions could be helpful to our fellow viewers tonight. Okay. All right. First off, coming from Miss Catherine Magbanwa, tanong ko po kapag nag-take po ba ng PPARs, di na kailangan po ba mag-chemotherapy? If I take PPARs, should I still need to take chemotherapy?
Okay, yes, you should still go for the chemotherapy. Okay, chemotherapy and the PPAR agonist work best together. Okay, so although yes, if you just take chemotherapy, you will respond. You'll have a response one way or another, no. But it's best to take them together. Okay, because if you are going to just take chemotherapy, then expect the side effects. Okay, the white blood cell count will go down. There will be, sometimes there would be pain. No, it feels like bone pain. Okay, muscle pains because the chemotherapy is also damaging the bone marrow. Okay, so by taking PPAR agonist or simply nature PPARs, you would be able to protect or lessen the toxicity put inside the bone marrow by the chemotherapy. So better to take them together. Okay.
To Catherine, I just want to reiterate because this past 2 weeks, I've been talking to patients like even in the apartment that I live in. My neighbors, also patients from the US, and what is very encouraging? Very encouraging is that the chemotherapy that they are taking is working for them. The tumor is shrinking. And of course, but because chemotherapy has side effects, they are concerned about how to manage these side effects. And with Dr. Jansen's lifestyle medicine advice and protocols, what to eat, what not to eat, how to exercise, what to watch out for, together with Simply Nature PPAR extracts, right, that actually diminishes all the chemotherapy. And we actually have patients who are too old or in a certain health condition, they cannot go for chemotherapy. all right? And just on Simply Nature extracts, their tumor also shrinks. So here's the thing. We have good results for people who are just on Simply Nature extracts. We also have so many good results from chemotherapy. So can you imagine if you take both? And then tonight's talk where Dr. Jansen actually talked, he actually showed that the two actually work together very well. We didn't design it this way. It just, praise God, it just happened to be so. So to Catherine, right, don't worry about chemotherapy side effects. It's definitely manageable. The benefits are so much, and you are protected by the PPARs, and the PPARs will have its own positive effect. So yeah, praise God, all right? Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Sir Sean, and thank you, Doc Jansen. All right, coming from our favorite, Miss Lily from Malaysia.
Hi, Lily.
All right. Hi, Miss Lily. All right, Doc Jansen, I am relapsed breast cancer patient with HER2 positive. I'm 68 now. I have completed my 6 cycles of chemo. My left breast tumor had reduced in size and lymph node flattened. What are the chances for the tumor to grow?
Okay. Considering the surgery and your age, no, and you are on Herceptin as well. Tamoxifen, Zometa for the spinal metastasis. Okay, so you are still on treatment. Now, if you're still on treatment, especially if you are on Herceptin already, then the chances of it, relapsing is quite low. And also, you're already 68 years old. Chances of relapse is already very low. But of course, you should not be complacent about it. Okay, you should still do your part. Okay, so what can you do? No, then number 1 is of course take supplements. Number 2, eat properly, eat the right foods, and avoid the foods that can stimulate the cancer to come back. Okay, so in general, just to give you and everybody an idea on the diet that I usually prescribe, is you focus your meals on these 4 food groups: fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. Okay, so legumes are beans. Okay.
For Lily, that's our green beans, red beans. So drinking green bean soup with less sugar, no coconut milk. Is coconut milk okay for cancer patients?
Not the canned coconut milk.
Or fresh one?
Yeah, the fresh one. So get the coconut meat, you grind that.
And then you squeeze, the gata.
Yes.
That is okay.
One is okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a great dessert, because we in Malaysia and Singapore love to eat green bean soup as dessert, all right? Yeah, so that's a good one. Less sugar.
Yes. Okay, so also, tofu would be a good addition to your meal, no? So studies have shown as well that patients who are eating soy or soy-based products, food products, no, have the less or the least chances of recurrence, and they live the longest as well. Okay, so yeah, there you go.
There you go. And for all the other viewers who are out there, I mean, any patient from Singapore and Indonesia and actually Thailand, Malaysia, it's actually quite easy to eat a lot of plant-based foods, because we have things like yong tau fu and all that, which are really, really very delicious and predominantly plant-based in the first place. So no lack of choices. It's only in Philippines, Doc, where it's harder to find delicious plant-based food.
Yes, there's a reason to that, because Philippines is largely westernized already. So the diseases in the Philippines is similar to the diseases in the Western countries. However, for the other Asian countries, like I've been to Korea, seeing the
they eat a lot of kimchi, a lot of vegetable,
a lot
pickle,
of soy there.
Yeah, a lot of soy.
Yeah, they give their soy milk for free. My gosh, it's like service water here in the Philippines.
Yes.
So another one, I've been to Singapore as well. A lot of
delicious
plant-based
food,
foods,
delicious plant-based food.
So it's quite easy, to be a vegetarian in those countries.
Yes.
Even Taiwan.
Taiwan also very easy. All right.
Yeah, very easy. Okay.
Okay.
You're just in the morning. Alright, okay, coming from another question coming from Miss Annette. Actually, you just answered Miss Annette's question as well, because her question is, I just underwent breast mastectomy, diagnosed breast cancer stage 2B, do I need to go for chemo, or are there other options? Would you like to add on that?
Yeah, I'll reiterate and I'll emphasize this. Okay, yes, you need to have chemo. Okay, you just underwent surgery. Now, the headquarters of the cancer is gone. However, there will be microscopic cancer cells still lingering inside your body. So it's best to address those microscopic cancer cells by taking chemotherapy. Okay, there is no other way. Okay, I've had patients who underwent just surgery alone, and right now they have recurrence. 2 years. Okay, 2 years ago they've had the surgery. Then right now it has recurred. Okay, so yeah.
That's also the same case with a patient that I work with. She had a very successful mastectomy, right? And she was taking, she was even going very plant-based. She was quite disciplined. She changed her diet. She looked good at first, after the chemo, after the surgery. She was on a plant-based diet. And then the doctor asked her to go for chemo. She didn't want to. And the next time I saw her, about a year and a half later, it had metastasized to different parts of the body, the brain and the lungs. It was terrible. So it's like a missed opportunity, because she was so strong after the surgery. The chemo would have not hurt her so much, because she is so strong. So for everybody, I was like this until I spent more time with Dr. Jansen a few years ago. And as you know, I'm an expert in the PPARS area, so definitely I'm always looking at how the PPARS work the natural way. So it was not my instinct to. It was my instinct to actually avoid chemotherapy. And I want to be clear right here. I think Doc, correct me if I'm wrong, but when we advocate and encourage our viewers to go for chemotherapy, we are not encouraging you to go for chemotherapy without taking other actions to protect yourself from chemotherapy, right? So our recommendation is not go for chemo. Our recommendation is go for chemo and take these protocols, these other steps to protect yourself while you go for chemo, all right? It's like I'm asking you, cross the road, but bring an umbrella with you. Don't just cross the road in the rain, right? Bring an umbrella with you. So what we're recommending to all our viewers, please be very, very clear. We're very specific right now. Yes, we encourage you for chemo because it is effective, especially to sweep up, the trace cancer cells that may have spread. But don't do it without the other protocols as well to protect you from the side effects of chemo. Because chemo can also damage your bone marrow, and that affects your red blood cell, white blood cell count, and that affects your immune system. So you got to do it with both sides, okay? Go for chemo, but take the protocols to protect yourself while going through chemo, and that will be your best option. All right, so for those of you who need to know specifically what to do while you are undertaking chemo, no, how should I say this? It's like this. How many of you have watched Avatar, the movie?
The blue
the blue one, I think everybody has watched Avatar, right? So this is just me telling you. I'll tell you, if you want to watch Avatar, you have got to watch it in 3D. Go to the 3D Avatar, but remember to wear your 3D glasses. So can you imagine? You hear Avatar is a great movie and it's really nice on 3D. You buy the 3D ticket, you go there and you watch Avatar in 3D without the 3D glasses. You're going to have a headache throughout the whole movie. And that's what we meant. It's a great movie to watch. It's great to watch it in 3D. It's like what we are telling you right now, right? Chemo is great and very effective for treating cancer. But you can't go in without your glasses, your 3D glasses. You can't go in without the other protocols that protect you from the side effects of chemotherapy. So going in without the protocols is like going to watch a 3D film without your 3D glasses. You would wish that you didn't go into the 3D film. You wish you go to the normal one, all right? So that's what that's what we are always advocating.
I just want to really quickly share what Ma'am Beth and I have learned from Doc Jansen when we were doing consults with him.
Oh.
He clearly said that for these cases where the patient has undergone surgery already, this is you are in a great position to do the chemotherapy. So I hope that really motivates you to go for it. Okay.
And go for a consult with Doc Jansen if you don't
Yes.
have a protocol that protects you from chemotherapy. You got to do that, all right, so that you get really, really great results. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Doc. All right, coming from Ms. Lilibeth, how can PPARs help cancer patients? Very straight to the point.
How PPARs help cancer patients? Okay, so for PPAR agonists are gene activators. So cancer, let me first discuss.
Doc, I want to say something. Our faithful viewer Lilibeth, Miss Lilibeth, I think she's always with us every week, but she's always asking similar questions. She's like a coach trying to ask questions for new viewers.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have viewers who are asking questions for the benefit of other viewers.
What a wonderful, very, very considerate community that we have here. I just want to thank Lilibeth for always asking questions for the new viewers, right?
Yeah, I think it's innate in Filipinos. When Filipinos are watching stuff, like this webinar, they're always, with one phone, there are always 2 or 3 people watching the same show on the same phone. Then the person behind, hey, can you ask doctor this question for me? Then of course they will ask, right? So it's that type of.
And you can see they are also sharing. They are also
many people are sharing
names.
their good results. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to Miss Lilibeth's question. Okay, so first let me tell you on how cancer comes about first. No, okay, before I answer, I give you an answer to that question. So for cancer, it's always genetic anomaly. Okay, so in our DNA, there's a sequence, the normal sequence. Okay, so something in our lives modifies that sequence. So if that sequence changes, then there's an error. Okay, so the body will naturally repair that error in the sequence. Now the problem with cancer is the DNA repair mechanism of the body somehow also has a mutation, number one, or also has an error in itself. Okay, then of course if the auditor is erroneous, then the result is what? Also erroneous. Okay, so that's where the trigger of cancer comes in. So in this case, the effect of that genetic error is unlimited cell replication. So if the cell replicates unlimited, then it becomes a tumor. It's now cancer. Okay. Now PPAR agonist activates the genes in order to stop this mechanism. Okay, that's the primary mechanism where it works. Also, it manages, since it's a gene activator, it also influences other pathways, especially in terms of the metabolism, especially the effect of insulin, the lipid metabolism, the fat metabolism inside our body, so that the cancer cells won't eat these lipids or these fats, so it also stops it from feeding itself. Okay. Also, another thing, when a tumor grows, it develops its own blood supply. So PPAR agonists also help mitigate the formation of that blood supply. Okay, so that is how PPARs help cancer patients. Now, of course, we should not rely on that alone, because what if the growth of the cancer is much faster than the PPARs trying to stop it? Okay, because there are those there are those cases as well. No. Also, another thing, what if, because PPAR agonists can also make the immune system stronger. Okay, so this is a proven thing already, not just because of the body recovering from chemotherapy. Okay, so it's not because the PPAR agonist recently, my colleague, this colleague of mine tested PPAR agonist in HIV patients.
Oh, yes.
Now, HIV patients, okay, their immune system is so down, okay, it's so down that their white blood cell counts are in the single digits. So you can just imagine how low that is. Now, PPAR agonists was given to HIV patients, and it has increased their white blood cell count. So, I mean, it's not just, your body trying to recover, okay, from the side effects of chemo or something, or side effect of a drug. Now, these HIV patients are infected with a virus, and their white blood cells are actively being destroyed. And by taking PPAR agonists, it has increased. So it really has a good effect for the immune system. Now, the problem here is another thing, is what if the tumor is evading your immune system? So, so that's another problem in and of itself, okay? So another thing is one more thing that on how PPARs can help cancer patients is when cancer patients are undergoing radiation therapy or chemotherapy. Radiation therapy, chemotherapy can destroy healthy cells. PPAR agonists can help your body to replenish the healthy cells much faster, so you are ready for the next cycle of chemo or the next session of the radiation therapy. Okay, so that is how PPARs can help cancer patients.
Okay, let me chime in a few words because Doc has been very technical. I will go with a broad advice is this. PPARs is, for all the reasons that Doc has given, is very effective for the treatment of cancer. All right. However, I want to share with all cancer patients, right, that when you treat cancer, don't go in with the idea of a single way to treat cancer. I think you're doing yourself a disservice, right? Don't go for a mono protocol. There are, even when we go for chemo, even in chemotherapy, the onco doesn't give you one chemo drug. He gives you a cocktail of different types of chemo drugs. Because in another video, we would actually discuss about, there are how many? 18?
It's 10.
10 gates to attack cancer, right? So I want to share with everybody, even though I'm from Simply Nature and PPAR's expert, I will tell you that it is important that the way our body fights cancer is more than one way. And the way cancer grows is more than one way also. It needs different conditions, from inflammation to formation of blood vessels for it to really grow fast. If you have comorbidities from diabetes to high blood cholesterol, all these are factors that create an environment for cancer to grow. So you shouldn't treat cancer in one way only. Yes, PPARs is foundation and fundamental, but on top of that, at the very least, you have to combine it with a good lifestyle so that you don't add additional stress. Now, if chemo is advised by your onco, it means that it's suitable and effective for your cancer. With the protection of PPARs, that makes chemo a very, very valuable option. Now, surgery quickly removes the main tumor, but of course, people always worry that if you do surgery, will you cut open the tumor and then the cancer spread?
Yeah.
But here it is, right? If you can get rid of the whole tumor straight away, why would you not? Yes, there is a risk of the cancer cells spreading, but that's why you have chemotherapy. And since you have chemo, and because you have PPARs, you don't need to be afraid of chemotherapy. So the whole package becomes a very effective way of fighting cancer. So how does PPAR help you fight cancer? It fights cancer directly, and it opens up the door for you to use surgery and chemo effectively in your fight for cancer.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Sir Sean. Thank you, Dr. Jansen. And okay, another question comes from Miss Razalyn. Good evening po, Doc. Like in my case, can I ask an advice to both of you? Can I ask what are the ways to prevent recurrence of my case? I'm already in 3 years recovery from cancer.
She's almost there.
Yeah, you're almost there. But of course, even if you have reached the 5-year mark, you should still be vigilant. Okay? So here is a general advice that you can do. Okay? So remember the 4 food groups that I have mentioned? Eat those. Okay? Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes. Okay? Then exercise. Daily exercise is very important for cancer patients as well. Okay? And of course, lastly, is
Should she go for diagnostics? Is she
yes,
should continue
she should.
with
Surveillance? Yes.
Okay.
You should have at least a yearly surveillance of yearly scans, bone scans, CT scans, PET scans, just to check if there are any recurrence or what. Okay. So lastly is our supplements. Okay, supplements are still very important. So don't forget your B12, Simply Nature PPAR agonists. Tablets would suffice, especially if you are now on remission and trying to prevent a recurrence.
Yes.
Okay. So that would be my advice for you. Then stay happy.
So for Razlyn, I guess the first thing is probably what you're doing now. You are doing the right things because you are 3 years and you're still clear. All right.
And on PPARs.
Yeah. And then PPAR tablets for everyone. Why should a cancer patient eat PPAR tablets? Well, I'll tell you a very simple reason. I don't have cancer. I eat PPAR tablets, right? So it helps with metabolic regulating your metabolic functions. We're talking about your blood sugar, blood cholesterol. It helps with your kidney and liver health. And it protects actually from your lungs during the whole COVID-19. It actually prevents alveolar infiltration. That means infection of your lungs. So again, you are just taking this for overall health and with the added benefit of special focus for cancer patients. So yeah, so for Razlyn, continue to smile. You're almost there.
Yes.
We are celebrating with you right now. All right, just 2 more years to go, and after that, just take PPARs for anti-aging. Okay, we believe that your cancer is fully conquered. All right, yeah.
Yes, Sir Han. Thank you, Dr. Jansen. All right, another question coming from Ms. Sulita Fresco. What is your advice to Doc for my food supplement? I think you've mentioned a while ago that alongside treatments, you have to have certain supplements as well.
For the food supplements, the basic ones would be a vitamin B complex supplement, especially B12. For B12, you should be getting 50 micrograms per day or 2,000 micrograms once per week. Okay, if you are 65 years old and up, then you should be taking 1,000 micrograms once a day. Okay,
Doc, why is B12 important?
B12 is important because we cannot get that from B12 is not made by plants and animals. B12 is made by bacteria. Okay? In the olden times, when B12 supplements haven't been invented, of course, our hygiene is not that well.
We're not that clean.
Yeah, our society is not that clean,
So we got our B12 for being dirty.
Yeah, we got our B12 from being dirty, okay, from being unhygienic. But of course, nowadays, we cook our food, we boil our water, we have soaps, we have detergents, and all of this. So bacteria in our food is really at a very minimal level. Okay, so how do we get B12 from our diet? Naturally. Okay, so we get our B12 from animal food sources because these animals, the cattle, the poultry, chicken, fish, they graze. Okay, so while grazing, they also eat the bacteria from the ground. Okay, or from the rivers, from the oceans. Okay, so in that way, they get their B12. So they get their bacteria. So the bacteria produces the B12. They store the B12 inside their muscles, inside their liver.
So it's inside the animals that we eat. So Doc, when you recommended B12, is it because of the plant-based diet or does B12 have a important function in the fight?
It has an important function. Okay. It not just being B12 deficient. Okay, so I'll answer 2. So number 1, okay, what is B12's function? B12 is used by the body to metabolize a waste product. Okay, so the waste product's name is called homocysteine. Now, when homocysteine or that specific waste product accumulates inside our body because we don't have much B12, then we increase our risk for heart disease.
Heart attack?
Yes, heart attack. We increase our risk for stroke. And on some studies, it has been shown that we also increase our risk for developing cancer. Okay? Also, aside from that, we also increase our risk for developing anemia. Okay? Another one is we develop cramping, neuropathies. We develop numbness, pins and needles on our hands, feet. So B12 is quite important, okay? And even if you think that, hey doc, isn't it bad to take supplements? I'd rather get the natural ones from the meat products, the animals. The thing is, we don't want to eat the animals because they have bad effects in our body, okay? It increases cholesterol, it increases your risk for cancer, it damages your kidneys, it also increases your risk for developing diabetes. So there are a lot of detrimental effects on our body by eating these animal food products. So we just go for the supplements. For the supplements, it has already been well studied. It doesn't have any harmful effects. And B12, there's no such thing as B12 overdose because vitamin B12 is water soluble. So anything in excess, you'll just pee away. Okay?
Easy to displace out.
Easy. Okay? So yeah.
Doc, I just wanted you, because you talked about meats, so these are cancer survivors. So to put it in a simple way to understand, animal protein is food for cancer cells. So that means if you're a survivor and you have small cancer cells circulating but never enough to actually allow your cancer to recur. But if you eat meat, you're actually feeding these cancer cells, right? So this was actually proven with extensive studies. One was published in this book called the China Study. So that one, they actually showed plants also have plants that are rich in protein. For example, Doc suggested and recommended soya bean, right?
Yep.
So soya bean is about 40% plant protein. So if protein feeds cancer, does plant protein have the same effect? And the answer is absolutely not. It is only animal protein that actually feeds cancer. The exact mechanism about that is a bit more technical, but I think just so that it's easy for everyone to understand, meat actually feeds cancer cells. So try not to eat meat, especially if you are a cancer survivor. In fact, Doc, someone that I met through you, Christine.
Yes.
Amazing, I guess, journey that she had. She had cancer, she was doing well, all her cancer tumors shrank. She was actually eating a pure plant-based diet.
Yes.
Then she was almost winning the battle already. Then she said, it's okay lah, how about I just eat a little bit. I think she ate fish or chicken, right? Not even beef or pork. She just ate a little. And her cancer markers started to spike up. And she was very clear that this was the cause. She started to eat barbecue chicken again. All right, and that was the only change that she did in her treatment, and the cancer came back, right? So and then she went plant-based again, and she is today in remission, right?
Yes.
She's in remission. She's
Yeah.
in remission. And I met another one that came into my office 10 years ago. Okay, 8 years ago. She told me she's a cancer survivor 25 years.
Wow.
And then you know what she said to me? The last 25 years she has been disciplined. She has stayed plant-based. All right, and she looked good, she looked healthy, she was strong. So and then she just came to us because she wanted another plant-based supplement. You know, she's still always looking for a better plant-based supplement. And I see many questions here about what supplements to take if you have cancer. If you're a cancer survivor, then I would tell you, take PPAR tablets. Right? And the reason why is that you've already heard, can you imagine cancer patients take PPAR extracts to fight cancer? So you can imagine that. So I don't need to explain to you why PPAR tablets are good for as an anti-cancer, right? But here's another reason. You are now in remission. You are so-called cancer-free. You can't just keep your eyes on cancer. You gotta keep your eyes on your health, right? You gotta make sure your blood sugar level is good, your blood cholesterols are good, all these are good, so that the chances for cancer developing is even less because your whole body is hostile against cancer. So PPAR tablets actually is great for managing your metabolic syndromes. It lowers inflammation. So many of these cancer survivors, you are very kind to quote your age. You're all like 60 plus. All right, so I want to tell you some very good news also. It helps with like joint pains and things like that. So it keeps you, Doc, you have a relative who has severe joint pains.
Yes.
Yes, and taking the tablets, the pain has diminished tremendously. So you can see, might as well take a supplement that helps you overall and specially targeted for your cancer. So I would definitely recommend PIPA tablets, and if you can get them from get PIPA Plus. It has additional polyphenols, which is really good for you.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you, sir. All right. Another question coming from Ms. Mahal Kwan. Hi, I'd like to ask if you've encountered paraganglioma case. How did PPARs help? Thank you.
Okay. For paraganglioma, to be honest, I haven't encountered one. Paraganglioma is also one of the rare cancers around, okay? There are only a few people who have paraganglioma. So for everyone's knowledge, paraganglioma is a tumor that grew on a nerve found in the spine, no? Okay? So paragangliomas, if that develops, it's quite painful because it will impinge on other nerves as well. Then it can trigger a lot of pain. Okay, but of course, PPAR agonists can still help a lot, no, in managing paragangliomas. Yeah, especially for the mitigation of the side effects of the chemo. So same principle. Okay, so the usual treatments for paragangliomas like chemotherapy, radiation therapy, you know, that would still work. PPAR agonists will still work as a mitigator of the side effects of these treatment modalities. Okay, so yeah, for paragangliomas, that's how I would approach it. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Jansen.
We really have a lot of good questions today, Sheila. I think we are only halfway through. I see so many good questions below.
Yeah, I'm trying to read through a bit quickly,
Yeah,
so that we can answer more questions tonight. Okay. All right. Another question coming from Ms. Edna Abreu. I had a breast mass. I had it operated, and thank God the result is benign. Is it possible to have another one or it recur again for this breast mass?
Come again.
Oi,
The question.
she had a breast mass.
Breast mass, okay.
It turns out they did a biopsy is benign.
Yes.
Benign, okay.
So
And
she's
it's
asking,
already-
what are the chances that another breast mass would be
Would develop.
and
Okay.
what's the chance that it will become malignant?
Malignant. Okay. Thank God that your breast mass is benign, but we have what we call as a malignant transformation. Okay, so malignant transformation means the benign breast mass becomes malignant, or it becomes a cancer. Okay, how do we prevent it from happening? The same principle that I have just mentioned a while ago about the food and the exercise. Okay, what are the chances of it becoming malignant, the benign tumor becoming malignant? It really depends. There's no specific number, no, but it really depends on your lifestyle. And if you have other illnesses, like metabolic illnesses like diabetes, if you have high cholesterol levels, if you have fatty liver, if you have very high triglyceride levels, these things. Okay. If you have vices, are you smoking? Are you drinking alcohol quite a lot? So the chances of that tumor becoming malignant depends on those factors. Also, if you have a family history of breast cancer itself. Okay. So if I were you, I would still continue to monitor it, but don't poke it. Don't poke again and again and again, because it has been shown again and again that it's benign. So just monitor for the size. Okay, just have your regular mammograms, regular breast ultrasounds. That would already be sufficient. Then eat the right kind of food. That's it.
I think this is so interesting. I myself had had a tumor incident. Mine was in the chest. 5 centimeter tumor in the middle of my chest. That's huge, right? Yeah, Dr. Jansen's like say huge. And I only found out because my colleagues had tuberculosis, so all of us had to go for X-ray. Then they found the tumor. You know, They wanted to do a biopsy. I went to see a Chinese doctor because at that time, I didn't know that they had those microsurgeries. I thought they were going to drill through my chest plate, right? So I went for a second opinion. So what was important was that I was on PPARs. So I realized that the PPARs, without PPARs, the tumor would have been bigger. But with the PPARs, the tumor stayed at 5 centimeters, which is not small. So to cut the story short, within 2 or 3 months, the tumor totally disappeared on its own. And the reason is because the root cause was a nerve in my neck was pinched. If you want to hear the story how I found out that a chest tumor the problem is in my neck, that's for another day, all right? But in short, when the pinched nerve was solved, the PPAR action that from the tablets I was taking, the body was able to get rid of the tumor. Now, the doctor who actually treated me told me, if you had gone for a biopsy to remove the tumor, 3 years later, you will have another one. Because what caused the first tumor is going to cause the second tumor, even though it's benign. So this is back to the question of the viewer that asked this, right? There was a reason why your body had that first benign tumor. So you got to make sure that the cause of that is removed. Now, what is the common cause for that? It's quite hard to diagnose sometimes, Doc. But we can safely say that lifestyle is a huge component of all these irregular growths in our body. So going on to a healthy lifestyle, plant-based food is one of your first steps. Taking right supplements, apart from PPAR tablets, so that people have other options. What are some of the supplements that you would recommend? Curcumin or what are other things that you
Okay. Most of them are spices, like garlic powder, turmeric powder,
yes, green tea.
What else?
What about wheatgrass? A lot of people like it.
Wheatgrass, not much.
Not much, right? It's still really, turmeric is really something that...
Another one is flax seeds.
Flax seeds.
Flax seeds. That's really quite good for breast cancer.
Yes, that's true. I've spoken not only to Asian doctors. There's a specialist in Australia that had great results with treating patients. He really used flax seeds a lot too.
Yeah. Okay. Another one is nutritional yeast.
Okay.
Because nutritional yeast can really boost up the immune system, make the natural killer cells, destroy the cancer cells. No. What else? Broccoli is also good. Cruciferous vegetables. Yeah. The mushrooms as well. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Doc, after you talk about mushrooms, I've been eating a lot of mushroom pasta. Not the creamy one, the one with just olive oil.
Quite delicious.
Yes,
okay.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Okay, so I hope that's helpful for everyone. Again, I want to say that if you ask me personally, I do take vitamin C. I do take sometimes magnesium for muscle spasms and things like that. But my foundational supplement is PPAR tablets because it covers pretty much all the multivites and it manages metabolic syndromes, which is as what Doc said, right? If you are in remission, you want to make sure that your blood cholesterol, blood sugar, all these are normal. If not, they create a good environment for cancer to grow, right? So that's another strategy. Just make your body so healthy it's hard for cancer. So manage your metabolic syndrome. No, I saw a few questions below that is related. I think someone was asking, right, Sheila, about particular vitamins to take, like vitamin D3.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you read that question so that we stay on the same topic?
All right. It's coming from Miss Corinne. Colon cancer reaching 5 years this April 2023. Is vitamin D3 advisable? I'm taking Central.
D3, D for Denmark.
D3, okay.
Yes.
Vitamin D3 is taken not because you have cancer. Okay, vitamin D3 should be taken because you are not getting adequate sunlight and your kidneys are already damaged. Okay, those are the two main reasons why you should get or why you should be supplementing vitamin D3. How much should you take in a day? It's 2,000 international units. All right, so that's the guidelines for vitamin D.
Yeah, so vitamin D3 is not specifically an anti-cancer approach. I mean, even turmeric would be much more
Yes,
recommended.
turmeric would be more
a
powerful,
superior
yes.
or more powerful than vitamin D3. But as we talked about in our shows all the time, you know, your kidney function and your liver functions are so important to have a working immune system. I mean, your body got to clean and detox in order for your immune system to be functioning well. So if you have deficiency in D3, it's definitely going to create complications for you in your fight for cancer, right? So you want to maintain your liver and kidney so that your body's clean, so that it doesn't have a recurrence, right? So in that sense, yes, you want to take vitamin D3, but I think I would advise you, my wife makes me do this every day now when I walk the dog, makes me sit in the sunlight, morning sun with my back towards the sun for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
All
that's
right?
the way to do it.
That's the way to do it, right? So praise God for a wise and fearsome wife. I have to listen to her. Okay, so I hope that helps. I hope that helps the person that was asking on the vitamin D3. And he did mention Centrum. I'm not gonna be specific about Centrum, but I just want to say, ask Doc for an advice, because this is my personal take as well. And Doc, you chime in with your comments. When I take vitamins for maintenance, okay, if I have a muscle spasm, and I will take some concentrated magnesium supplement just to ease my muscle spasm. But if I want to keep my muscles not spasm, I don't take magnesium capsules every day, because I fundamentally want to take supplements that are whole foods. That means I want to take supplements that are not complete extracts, right? I want to take supplements that are, for example, turmeric crushed into a powder, put into a capsule. One capsule equals one huge piece of turmeric, which I normally won't eat like that. I would rather choose that type of supplementation, taking things like, okay, crazy things that Chinese people take, right? Like bird's nest and things like that. Things that are not like made in a chemical compound, which is what your multivitamins are from, especially commercial brands that you mentioned, right? Some more innovative companies may use herbal formulas, less chemical oriented, less synthetic oriented. But you know, yeah. So that's my comment. That if I take supplements, I would rather take a Malangai pill, a turmeric capsule. These are instead of a multivitamin. I'd rather take these things. And recently, Doc, good news. My blood pressure is almost back to normal.
Wow!
Yeah, and my solution is, I just to let everybody know, because I know I tell everybody I take PPAR tablets, so how can I have high blood pressure? So this is really great, right? We are honest on this program. Life is complex. So when I had high blood pressure, 140 plus, you know, and Dr. Jansen was like, well, that's really high. Do I need to put you on medicine? So he gave me a long list of diagnostics. I went to the diagnostic center. I tested everything. Wow, he made me scan everything, right? Not only blood works, but also scans. And then it turned out everything is normal. So the conclusion was my blood pressure was because of Dr. Jansen. No, because I was working at Dr. Jansen. No, I mean, I have a lot of responsibilities, of course, in running the companies that I run. So my blood pressure was a direct result of mental pressure.
Yes, it's stress.
Literally, it's stress. It's not because you know, I ate poorly or I didn't take supplements. So yeah, so I did qigong and everything, but I knew that I needed something extra. You know, I don't know whether it's placebo or not, but I really do feel the difference. I do believe it is. One thing that my wife made me do the last week was pure raw celery. Okay, and then on my TCM said celery is cooling, so gotta add ginger to it to balance it out. And I squeezed lemon juice so that it's more palatable. And here's the thing, I did not juice the celery, I blended the celery with the leaf. So it's not like, you know, they took all the pulp away and just the celery juice. No. It's the whole celery inside, blend, nothing is removed, and I drink that. every day. And you know what? My blood pressure has come down to 128 now. So it's a little bit more, and 123 the other morning.
Continue more.
Yeah, just a little bit more.
Continue.
But you know what? I think I'm gonna make this salary thing a regular thing in my life, because not only does my blood pressure go down, I do feel fresher as well. So it's got to do. I already take PPARs, right? So I'm cancer free and everything. I have good high blood cholesterol. I have good cholesterol, everything. Now with this, I feel more like zest,
Yes.
So that's why I'm saying, take your PPARs and then like eat real fruits and vegetables, and you're gonna see all the benefits, right? Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Jansen. All right, another question. So a while ago, we answered about vitamin D3. Now the question is coming from Miss Maricel. How about fish oil from Alaska? Can it be taken during chemo and alongside PPARs?
If you are already taking PPARs, you don't need fish oil anymore. Why did I say that? Okay, fish oil, the one that you are taking is EPA and DHA. So those two essential fatty acids that fish has inside their body, they get it from algae anyway. Okay, so might as well go directly to the source. And another problem with fish oil supplements is that they are not well regulated by the FDA. Okay, so they do not adhere to very strict regulations, unlike the pharmaceutical industry, because they are classified as food supplements. Okay, so there would be a danger of you ingesting mercury from the fish that they got their fish oil from. Then aside from mercury, there would be lead or other heavy metals, okay, that the fish consumed. So if you accumulate those heavy metals for over a long period of time, then you will develop a lot of symptoms, a lot of illnesses down the road. Okay, so I would advise you to not take the fish oil supplement. Instead, just go for the PPAR agonist, the Simply Nature PPAR agonist, because Simply Nature PPAR agonist is made from microalgae. Okay, so that's my position there.
Again, I think this is another thing that brings up the question, right? Technically speaking, all the products that we take should go for heavy metal testing. They should be free from heavy metals. But as you mentioned, Doc, that different countries have different regulations, and even in countries that we thought are very strict. For example, my wife personally would not want, she always stops me from taking any supplements coming from USA. Mm-hmm. Because she trusts New Zealand and Australia a lot more than USA. And let me share with you, I studied in the US, and I studied US law as part of some of the my curriculum, when I was in college, right, in university. So here's the very interesting, in marketing law, you can say something is natural if the molecular structure is the same as natural. So it could be synthetically created, but because molecularly the structure is the same as natural, it is said to be natural, even though it's synthetic. So these are like loopholes in legalities. Now, so if you buy from a brand or brands that are not very strict, then they can put that natural, but it's synthetically created. Okay, so it's synthetically created. You're actually taking something synthetic, but if they put it natural, because molecular structure is the same as natural, so you can use the label of natural. So these are little things that, depending on the laws of every country, is different. So now you understand why I still prefer to just take a turmeric pill or PPAR tablets, because you are basically eating vegetables, you're basically eating turmeric, and that you don't have to worry about what they actually put in there. No binders, no fillers, right? Nothing to keep the multivite together, because you're just taking turmeric itself, right? So that's another reason why another good way of supplementation is just to eat really healthy foods and concentrates like turmeric powder and things like that.
Thank you, Sean. That's actually a bit scary what you said a while ago.
Yeah, because when it comes to the law, you'll be very surprised what legally is. That's why over the years we had crazy scandals, right? Things that were approved by FDA and then later withdrawn from the market because certain companies tried to. I know they played around with it. Yeah.
And with Doc Jansen's answer to Miss Maricel's question about D3 and of course vitamin D3 and also fish oil, it's actually good news that you can just focus on the PPARs
and sit in the sun for 20 minutes, right?
Yes.
Enjoy and learn to do Qigong in the sun for 20 minutes, right? You solve kill two birds with one stone. Right.
That's why our VIPs are always in a tree, all right?
Just to let everybody know, right? Come 2023, I'm going back to school, Doc.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are you studying?
I'm gonna study Chinese medicine. I'll actually become certified in that because my interest is very Western clinical research on PPARs, right? So you are already the expert in Western nutrition and lifestyle. So I thought, so that I will bring something new to our program, I thought I'll go back and study TCM, understand, because I'm sure next year in 2023, you can ask me questions like, hey, Shen, what about Ling Zi and all this and the Chinese approach? And then I'll be able to give you a real concrete learned,
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm studying it not so that I practice Chinese medicine. I'm studying it the same way so that I can really answer the mechanisms and the questions from viewers like yourself. When you're looking at different approaches, some of you may try Chinese herbs. At least I will know what I'm talking about when I give you advice next year in these areas.
Very excited for that, sir.
Yeah.
Doc Shan. All right. Okay. Coming from Janet Ong, I'm taking anastrozole and my uterus lining have thickened, and I was advised to undergo hysterectomy. What do you think should I do?
Okay, you're advised to undergo hysterectomy for because of thickened endometrial lining. May I ask how old are you? Yeah, because if you are already postmenopausal and then you develop this thickening of the endometrium, then I think it's prudent for you to go through the surgery because number one, you don't need your uterus anyway because you're already past menopause, okay? And number two, you also prevent yourself from developing endometrial cancer, okay? So that's the best option. You don't take any chances. And when it comes how risky is hysterectomy or the
Yes.
removal of uterus?
And what are the effects if you have gone through a hysterectomy?
Yeah. First of all, the effects is nothing much. I mean, the uterus only function is to house a baby. Okay, if it's removed from your body, then yeah, you won't. There's.
I can vouch for this
Yeah.
because the founder of PPAR tablets, my Ninong and Ninang. My Ninang actually had a full hysterectomy because she had an ovarian cancer scare. And back then, because she's 83 this year, that was like when she was in her late 20s, early 30s.
Oh.
So that's like 40 years ago. The surgeons would remove everything,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Everything. So she had a hysterectomy when she was in her early 30s. Today she's 83 years old, very strong, good eyesight, still drives a Mercedes SLK, so so that's just to share with you. And I see her all the time. Whenever I see her, she's still so strong and so healthy, living a very, very normal life. So I think I can vouch that at least I know one person who had hysterectomy so many years ago, even before menopause, and she has managed it well. And of course, she takes PPARs every day because she lives on a farm where PPAR is produced. All right, okay.
Okay, so so far that is my position when it comes to hysterectomy. In terms of blood loss, with the advancement of medicine, but so far for all the hysterectomies that I have assisted, blood loss is quite manageable. Well, I think the surgeons that I have assisted are quite good as well. So, yeah, because I trained, I studied in St. Luke's Medical Center. So, with the experience on my mentors, blood loss was around less than 50 ml.
Wow, that's very little.
Yeah, it's very little. So, it's quite manageable. But of course, this is a major surgery. So, every surgery has its risks. So you should still talk to your surgeon. Then think for yourself. Decide. No, whatever your decision is, they will follow. Okay. Yeah. If I were you, I would go for the hysterectomy anyway.
Doc,
Okay?
would this patient, would this viewer benefit from a consult with you, or you are comfortable with this recommendation already?
It would be better if you go for a consult still, okay? Because
So for more
yeah,
details.
for more details, because here's another question: can that thickening of the endometrium be reversed? Yeah, it depends on a lot of things.
So if it can be reversed, we can avoid the hysterectomy.
Yes. Do we still have time? That's a very important question that we need to answer. Because if we are losing time already, then it's best to have your uterus removed. But if we still have enough time, then yeah, probably we can do something. Try to change your lifestyle. Monitor for 6 months. Then if your endometrium thins down, and then your surgeon makes the recommendation of, okay, let's keep your uterus, then wonderful, right? So yeah, better to go for a consult. Okay.
Okay. Alright. Thank you, Doc Jansen. Thank you, Sir Fan. It's almost 9. Let's try. to
Oh,
answer
okay.
more
I saw so many questions. I'm so sorry. Let me apologize to anybody if I have sidetracked a little with the things. I'm so sorry that we don't get to answer all the questions. Yeah, but
Yeah,
please
don't
join us
worry.
again next week. We will answer those questions. I'll stop my sidetrack next week. Yeah.
Okay, but let's just answer some more, right? That came in a little earlier today. Okay, coming from Miss Joy, RN. I have breast lump on my left. It discharged liquid yellowish to pinkish to bright red to dark red. I was scheduled 4 times for lumpectomy and biopsy, but it was postponed due to different factors. My discharges stopped after a year. And now this is already 1 year and 3 months old. I am scared now to touch and operate it for I'm in our medical field. So because she's an RN, once you touch it or remove the mask, it will just aggravate and further metastasize. What are your takes regarding this matter?
Okay. We do not know if I need more information when it comes to your case, no. But okay, I'll discuss the more sinister
Possibility.
outcome, the more sinister possibility, okay? Because it would be better to answer the more sinister one than
Yeah, that means we're trying to be safe than sorry, right? Yeah.
We're trying to be safe than sorry, okay? So with what you have told us is, I'm assuming that what you have would at least be stage 3 breast cancer. So I do not know if you are stage 3 or stage 4, because in order for us to know if you're stage 4, then we need to have your lungs, your brain, your liver, your bones scanned. Okay, so it's basically a full body scan. Now, let's assume that you are still on stage 3C breast cancer, no? Another thing that we need to know is how big is the lump on your breast, because if it's quite big, then it would be more important to undergo chemotherapy or radiation therapy first to shrink down the tumor, then go for the surgery. Okay, but if it's quite small, then probably outright surgery would be okay already. But with the information that you have given us, that it has a purulent discharge. Okay, so for breast cancer cases which has purulent discharge, then these cases would not be. Most of these cases would not be surgical already. okay, because of risk of infection. Okay, so the better approach here would be to go for chemotherapy first or radiation therapy. Okay, so it's 2.1 centimeter last January 2022, then 1.8 centimeter by April 2022. So it shrunk down. So we still need to know the staging in order to know the appropriate treatment approach. Okay, so very important to do biopsy because with the biopsy, we would know which type of breast cancer you have. Are you hormone receptor positive? Are you HER2 positive? Are you triple negative? Okay, so because from that alone, we would know if you are a good candidate for hormone therapy, trastuzumab therapy, or chemotherapy outright. Okay, so yeah, that would be my approach, and it would be better if you go for a consult, so I can make the appropriate recommendation. Okay.
Doc, is all our discussions, the lessons that we have, lectures that we've done over the past 2 years. I just wanted to take an opportunity to highlight here. You will notice that why do we do diagnostics? We do diagnostics only when we need to choose what type of options to proceed with the treatment. So if you were not going to, for example, do any chemotherapy at all, any immunotherapy at all, then if you were just going to go natural, then there's no need to do any biopsy or diagnostics because it won't make a difference what natural approaches you do. But because breast cancer is so well researched and there are so many developed tools for breast cancer and so well defined, so many types, so this is why if we want to know exactly which chemo drugs or immunotherapy candidates that will be suitable for you, we would have to do a diagnostic. But again, back to what we shared, if you were going to go, for example, all natural, you don't need to know what chemo drugs you need to take because you're not going to take any, then you don't even need to do a biopsy. So just to take this opportunity to highlight to everybody what we learned from Dr. Jansen and how to apply it in our life, right? And for Joy, I think go for a consult so that you can talk and ask questions more readily too, so that you can also give Doc more of your background and your concerns. Okay. Oh, I saw someone share a good, encouraging testimony. Yeah, maybe we end on that.
We will. But coming from Miss Marisa. All right, but first, shall we have our last question?
Okay,
tonight?
one more.
Okay. But we have a lot of questions that weren't answered today, but don't worry, we'll get in touch with you with the answers, or we'll throw the questions once again on the next week's webinar again. Okay? All right, for the last question for tonight, coming from Ms. Lillian Choco. I was diagnosed with breast cancer stage 1 and had my mastectomy. I am currently taking oral chemo treatment for almost 3 years. What are the possible side effects of anastrozole or arimides? I also availed the mama print right after the operation. How reliable are the results of mama print?
Okay, good question. Okay, for everybody's information, anastrozole, it's not a chemotherapy drug, okay? It's a hormone therapy drug.
Oh, big difference, everybody,
Big
between
difference,
hormone therapy and chemotherapy.
Okay, big difference, okay?
I was thinking chemotherapy for 3 years is very long.
Yes.
Okay.
Anastrozole.
That's good news.
Yes. Anastrozole is hormone therapy, okay? That's specifically used for hormone receptor positive breast cancer patients, okay? And usually, anastrozole is given to breast cancer patients for 5 years. Okay, so yeah. So one of the side effects of anastrozole are quite mild. Okay, so some of them would be hot flashes, headaches. You might get trouble sleeping, sometimes dizziness or stomach upset. These things. Okay, it's quite mild. And how do you mitigate this side effect? Okay. Just eat a lot of soy foods. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that would mitigate it. But of course, you have to be on it as long as possible. Okay. The only time that you stop this is when your onco tells you, okay, you are now graduated from anastrozole. Congratulations, okay?
So there will be a day where she will...
Yes, there will be a day that when
Okay.
you will graduate from taking anastrozole.
All right.
Okay? Yeah.
Look forward to that. Okay. Of course, as you know, right? Just
Oh, she asked the memo print thing.
The mammo print.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
Sorry,
the
the mammo
mammo
print is reliable. The result of mammo print, okay?
Okay, so that's
It's
good.
quite reliable, yes.
Alright. Okay. As you know, of course, we have a lot of viewers tonight who stayed up until the end of the program.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so much.
everybody.
And of course, they are a combination, of course, of our active cancer patients on remission, survivors of breast cancer, and of course, people who are preventing the said cancer. What are your parting words? Quick parting words for each one. Starting off first with Mr. Shanlin.
Okay, my parting words is an answer to a question I saw. Someone asked, can I take PPARs during remission now? Actually, it's the best thing to take now. So my parting words to everybody is that in the treatment of cancer, understand that cancer was not caused by just one factor. Yes, it could be caused by one genetic anomaly, but for that genetic error to really become cancer, many things have to happen. For example, your body has to have chronic inflammation. You probably have metabolic syndromes, comorbidities that made it conducive for the cancer to develop, right? So we have talked today about, and you've heard combining chemotherapy with our PPAR extracts. Our PPAR extracts are being used to can be used to treat cancer naturally. But so you're very clear. We are very clear about PPAR's role in fighting cancer. What I noticed with this last question is, what is PPAR's role or supplementation role when you are in remission? Okay, so in remission, apart from getting supplements that are good for anti-cancer action, you got to still get supplements that are good for your blood sugar, blood cholesterol, good for your liver and kidneys. Don't just go everything anti-cancer, right? There are other factors that actually cause or allow recurrence to come. So what you want to do is really be healthy completely. Be healthy completely. So and for that, I'm a good example. I don't have cancer. I take PPARs to keep myself healthy, to keep my metabolic syndromes all in check, even though I have high blood pressure because of this wonderful young man on my left giving me pressure and work. But in terms of biologically, health-wise, my blood works, everything is clear. All right, so take PPARs during remission, not only for your anti-cancer activity, take it so that you have good blood cholesterol, good blood sugar, healthy liver, healthy kidney, strong lungs, low inflammation throughout your body. And so that's my last words. Take care of your health. Be healthy, not just anti-cancer.
Okay, so everyone, this month is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. No, I think it's not just breast cancer nowadays, so it's generally cancer. Okay, so of course, a lot of you will be undergoing chemotherapy, contemplating on undergoing chemotherapy. Okay, so please keep in mind that you're not alone in this journey. Okay, you have us. We have this venue, this avenue. If you are someone who just wants to ask all the questions you want, we have this every week.
Every Thursday.
Every Thursday, just go.
Rain or shine.
Rain or shine.
Whether we are in Korea or not.
And even if it's on a holiday, we still do this.
Yes.
I mean, so
That's our commitment to
this
all
our
of you.
commitment to all of you, and of course, it's not just you learning from us.
Yeah,
it's
we learn
also
from you.
other people learning from our conversations. Okay, so keep on asking questions. Please do share this this platform, this avenue that we have, and make this community even bigger so we can help more people. Okay, and one last thing is don't be afraid of especially if you are someone who's undergoing, I would undergo surgery now, I'm quite afraid, or you are about to undergo chemotherapy and you are quite afraid of the side effects, because you have us. Okay, and one last thing, there are so many last things.
So many last things.
Okay, what am I gonna say?
yeah, don't just focus on your cancer. You have to still continue to live your life. Okay?
Yes.
Because cancer, you know, by having cancer, this is just a temporary roadblock in your life. Okay, you have to look beyond. Okay, because by looking beyond, that would give you purpose, that would give you strength in battling whatever you're going through right now. Okay, so that would be all for me.
And yeah,
Okay.
that's right. I think if we sit, there'll be infinite last things
Yeah,
to say.
we'll go until
please,
10.
Sheila, please end the night before the program drags on to 10 p.m. Yeah.
Alright. Once again, we know that there are some questions that weren't answered tonight. Please, we will get in touch with you. We'll ask Dr. Jansen as well. Okay, don't worry. We hope to see you once again because next week, October 20, same time, 7:30, we'll be having the topic ovarian cancer, causes and ways of prevention. So it's another cancer related topic, but still will be, you can still ask questions,
Anything.
cancer or non-related about cancer, you can ask them here. Okay. Also, just a little bit of announcement. Okay, we have an ongoing promo this October until October 31. We're in our Simply Nature AD Pro Serum is buy one take one on our shopping platforms, Shopee, Lazada, and of course buy direct from our BGC office. And of course, for those who are interested to purchase liquid and powder extracts, you are also getting a free AD Pro Serum worth 2,700. So do take that advantage. Don't miss that chance. Also, tomorrow, very, very quickly, is the end of our Lasmo 1010 Mega Brand Offer Sale.
Okay.
Please, yes, because we have questions that came in about prevention. And yes, tablets are off. We can do away with the tablets as well, which is a part of what we have on discount. All right, up until tomorrow. So don't miss that great deal as well. Sir Sean, would you like to say anything?
Yeah, I just want to say something for those who are buying the powder extract and liquid extract. If you're going for radiation therapy, the AD Pro is really great because the AD Pro can be applied to your skin where the radiation burns are, and that will help you recover. All right, so that's one of the practical applications for AD Pro for cancer patients going for radiation therapy.
Yes, all right. Your success in different health journeys is what keeps us going here in Simply Nature. And we are very thankful for you sharing and tagging names onto our comment section during our webinars and sharing our webinar videos through your friends as well. I would like to greet, I just want, so they will not make tampo, our viewers as well on YouTube tonight.
Oh yes,
okay?
YouTube viewers. Thank you for the YouTube viewers. Yeah.
Yes, every Thursday we are also simultaneously streaming on YouTube. Okay. All right. So once again, thank you so much for joining us tonight, and really hope to see you once again in our next webinars to come. Because here in Simply Nature, we are always with you from start to healing. Thank you, everyone. Good night, and God bless you all.